Have you ever felt your mind racing, your heart tightening in your chest, or a quiet whisper from your gut, and you just couldn't tell if it was fear, your ego, or your true inner guidance? If that sounds familiar, please stay right here. Because the moment you can finally tell the difference between these voices, your entire life is going to shift in the most beautiful way. I want you to hear this loud and clear. You are not broken. You are not lost. You are simply awakening, and this video is going to be your map. I know exactly what it feels like to be completely overwhelmed by your own mind. To feel that tight, anxious knot in your chest and wonder, is this really me? Or is something else speaking? The spiritual teacher Eckhart Tolle once said, "You are not your thoughts." That's a powerful idea, but how do you actually feel beyond all that mental noise? Let's break it down. When fear speaks, it feels urgent, loud, and incredibly demanding. It's like an alarm bell going off in your system. Ego, on the other hand, is a bit more subtle. It whispers these clever, persuasive stories about who you should be, what you should achieve, and how you measure up to others. But intuition is different. It's quiet, it's persistent, and somehow it just feels like coming home to yourself. Imagine for a moment making your life choices with a deep sense of certainty, not from a place of anxiety. Imagine aligning with the true path of your soul instead of constantly reacting to your mind's endless chatter. That is exactly what we are unlocking together today. So let's start with a simple question. How do you actually distinguish these inner voices in the moment? Let's look at fear first. Fear feels sharp, it feels urgent, and it often feels like a survival alarm is blaring. The author Baron Katie has a brilliant saying, "When I argue with reality, I suffer." Fear is that constant argument with what is. It's the voice that screams about all the terrible things that might happen. Next up is the ego. The ego is smart, it's persuasive, and it's always demanding validation from the outside world. As Deepak Chopra reminds us, ego is the false self. Your ego is the part of you that craves approval, that loves to compare, and that desperately wants to be in control of everything. It's the voice that says, "What will they think of me?" Or, "I need to prove myself." Then we have intuition. Intuition is gentle, it's non-demanding, yet it is incredibly insistent. It doesn't shout. It whispers. Oprah Winfrey often talks about this, calling it that small inner voice that knows the truth. It doesn't use logic or debate. It just presents a feeling of knowing. And finally, there's what we can call true inner guidance. This is the deepest level. It feels expansive, incredibly calm, and liberating. The teacher Adyashanti says, "The truth is found in the quiet." This guidance doesn't push you or force you. It simply points the way like a gentle, loving hand on your back. Here's a simple practice you can start using right now. The next time a strong thought or feeling arises, I want you to notice the physical sensation it creates in your body. Fear tends to tighten your chest and make your heart race. Ego often creates tension in your jaw, your forehead, or your shoulders, that feeling of needing to brace yourself or react. But intuition feels soft and steady. It's like a gentle nudge from within, often felt in your gut or your heart space. It doesn't create tension, it releases it. As the author Shakti Gawain once said, "Your inner guidance is always whispering to you." The real question is, are you listening or are you arguing with it? Now, you might be asking, this all sounds great, but how do I actually learn to trust it? That's a fantastic question. Trust isn't something you just decide to have. It's not blind faith, it's experiential, it's built over time. I promise you, you have felt this guidance before, even if you ended up ignoring it. Think back. Remember a time when you made a choice that you just knew was right, deep down in your bones, even if it didn't make logical sense? Or a step you took that just felt perfectly aligned, like everything clicked into place? That is your proof. That's your personal evidence that this inner compass exists. The spiritual teacher Pema Chidran teaches that fear is the mind's way of keeping you small. So, the next time you're faced with a decision, ask yourself this simple question. Is this thought, this feeling, serving my expansion? Or is it trying to keep me contained and small? That question alone can cut through so much confusion. Another common worry is, what if I listen to my intuition and I make the wrong choice? Here's the beautiful truth. Every choice is a teacher. Intuition doesn't demand perfection. It doesn't guarantee a specific outcome. Its purpose is to guide your awareness, to help you learn and grow. Eckhart Tolle said it perfectly. Life will give you whatever experience is most helpful for the evolution of your consciousness. True guidance doesn't promise you'll never face challenges. It shows you the path to greater clarity and wisdom through them. Now let's go a little deeper. Here's the real revelation. Your mind will always try to label your experiences. It loves putting things in boxes: fear, ego, intuition. But here's the secret. They are not your enemies. They are all just signals. They are messengers trying to get your attention. As the teacher Gangaji says, all the guidance you seek is already within you. This isn't just some abstract theory. Your body knows. Your nervous system, your heart, your gut, they are all part of this incredible guidance system. The moment you can pause and recognize each voice for what it is, you reclaim your power. You reclaim your sovereignty. You stop reacting unconsciously to the world around you. You stop giving your power away to the loud demands of the ego or the frantic alarms of fear. And slowly, gently, you begin to live in true resonance with your higher self. Think of it this way. Intuition is like a lighthouse on a rocky shore. Fear is the thick, disorienting fog. The ego is the alluring but dangerous song of the siren, trying to lure you onto the rocks. And your true inner guidance? That's the steady, unwavering beam of light from the lighthouse that keeps you safe and moving forward on your journey. As Michael A. Singer wrote in The Untethered Soul, if you truly love life, don't waste time being afraid. The voice inside you that consistently moves you toward more love, more expansion, and more freedom, that is your truth speaking. And here is the subtle but powerful shift that happens. Every single time you pause, take a breath, and ask yourself, is this fear, ego, or intuition? You grow. In that moment of conscious inquiry, you expand. You awaken just a little bit more. You've already taken the biggest step by being here, by being curious. You've already awakened. Now, it's time to learn to trust the voice that has always been there, patiently waiting for you to listen. In our next video, we'll explore practical ways to strengthen your intuition so that life feels less like a raging storm and more like a graceful dance. I'll show you some simple, powerful practices to quiet the mind's chatter, amplify that intuitive whisper, and gently dissolve the ego's grip. Thank you so much for joining me today. If this resonated with you, be sure to subscribe so you don't miss what's coming next. You're on the right path. Keep listening.